Ukraine war. Trump, Putin, Zelenskyy and Starlink update breaking news. In today's top trending global development, tensions in the ongoing Ukraine war escalated further as former U.S. President Donald Trump issued a blunt statement claiming that Russian President Vladimir Putin is deliberately avoiding direct talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy due to personal hostility, with Trump insisting that this personal animosity is preventing even the possibility of dialogue, fueling speculation about whether a diplomatic channel could ever be reopened between Moscow and Kiev. While at the same time Ukraine faces a severe technological setback after news broke that the country may lose access to Elon Musk's Starlink satellite internet service, which has been vital in maintaining communication and battlefield coordination since Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022. And this threat emerged after Poland's president vetoed a refugee aid bill that also included financial support to cover Starlink services for Ukraine, raising alarm among Kiev's military officials who rely heavily on uninterrupted secure connectivity for drones, encrypted communication, and emergency logistics. And analysts warn that without Starlink, Ukrainian front lines could face serious disruptions in intelligence gathering, command structures, and even morale, given that soldiers and civilians alike have leaned on Starlink as a lifeline. And the veto in Poland has become controversial domestically as well, with critics arguing that cutting off support undermines European solidarity at a crucial time, while supporters of the veto say that Polish taxpayers cannot continue shouldering costs indefinitely, creating friction inside NATO as allies debate how much more support Ukraine should receive. And meanwhile, Trump's remarks sparked international headlines not only because of his claim that Putin personally detests Zelenskyy, but also because he positioned himself as someone who could negotiate peace within 24 hours if re-elected, a claim he has repeated on campaign trails in the United States. And critics argue that Trump's comments risk emboldening Putin by framing the conflict as a matter of personalities rather than systemic aggression, while supporters of Trump say he is speaking candidly about the futility of expecting dialogue between leaders who despise each other. And Zelenskyy himself has not responded directly to Trump's statement, but continues to stress that Ukraine will not compromise on sovereignty or territorial integrity, particularly regarding Crimea and occupied Donbass. And this backdrop is further complicated by recent Russian strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure that plunged part of the country into blackouts, underscoring why Starlink's potential loss is such a critical threat, since traditional networks are unreliable during bombardments. While Musk himself has not yet commented on the Polish veto, but previously suggested that funding for Starlink in Ukraine should shift from private donations to governments and international institutions, sparking debates over corporate responsibility in wartime. And European officials are scrambling to find alternate funding solutions to prevent Ukraine from being digitally paralyzed at the front lines, while military analysts describe Starlink as the nervous system of Ukraine's defense, given how integrated it has become into drone operations, secure communications, and even emergency hospitals in war zones. And the fear now is that Russia could exploit the uncertainty to intensify offensives during any communication gaps, a possibility Ukrainian intelligence is already preparing for. And as this breaking news unfolds, global observers see the combination of Trump's statements, Putin's silence, Zelenskyy's resilience, and the looming Starlink crisis as emblematic of how multilayered and fragile the war has become. No longer just a military battle, but also a diplomatic, technological, and political standoff with ordinary Ukrainians once again caught in the middle, facing the uncertainty of winter, ongoing blackouts, and now the threat of losing their most vital digital lifeline. And international pressure is growing on Poland, NATO allies, and the European Union to act swiftly to restore financial guarantees for Starlink, while the United States also faces calls to step in, though political polarization in Washington makes rapid aid decisions uncertain, particularly as Trump's influence over the Republican base adds complexity to America's stance. And experts conclude that if Starlink is cut, Ukraine will be forced into an urgent scramble to find alternative networks. But no equivalent technology currently matches its speed, security, or battlefield adaptability, making this one of the most consequential non-military threats Kiev has faced since the war began. And thus today's breaking update is not only about leaders clashing in words, but also about the digital lifeline of a nation at war hanging in the balance, highlighting once again that the outcome of this war may hinge not only on weapons, but also on technology, diplomacy, and the unpredictable calculations of global leaders.